Daniel Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Clerk, I'd like the notes and minutes of this meeting to reflect the following comments that I make, please. Congratulations. You know, when I came onto this board, you guys all know whose shoes I followed. Commissioner Gail Mahoney. I sat down with her and she went down the list with me about how she deeply felt about the county of Jackson at her time of departure. She was deeply distraught. We had lost several family members. She lost a lot of time serving this community instead of being with family members. And at the end of her telling me exactly how she felt about each and every one of y'all that were on the board and present at the time she stepped off, she said, Daniel, don't take my feelings and emotions, friends and enemies, with you on this board of commission. You are to go empty-handed, open-handed, and open-hearted, and form your own friend and make your own enemies at your own expense and your own experience. But you'll learn over time who your true allies are and who your true friends are. I believed in you. I trusted you. I was granted the opportunity through the county to participate in a high performance leadership program. Part of my assignment was to find a mentor and when I asked Chairman Shotwell, can you help me? I need a mentor for this program that I signed up with, that I'm representing the county of Jackson for. The answer was, as long as I don't have to write anything down. My house is on fire. And instead of choosing, as a good neighbor would do, to lend me your water hose to help attempt to put the fire out, what you've done tonight is doused my house with gasoline. 8 minutes and 46 seconds is how long it took to take George Floyd's life. And as I sat in tears and watched it happen, my thought was, not in my community, not in my county, not with the gentlemen that I stand next to, because I know what they stand for. But time and time again, you guys have systematically proved me to be incorrect. After that murder happened, the day that it happened, I changed my picture on my social media to just a black screen with no explanation. And I did that, Vice Chair Elwell, because I felt like people cannot see the lives of black people, dead or alive. They don't need to see my face either. Tonight, You've shown me that my voice is not valued, that my opinion is not cared for, and what the constituents and the people of this community have showed up and stood for. I believed in you. I truly did. There's situations where people talk bad about this commission that I defended several times over the course of the last 6 years. And I believed in you. I believe we could make a change together. But I see it's not we that want to make a change. You want to tell me how the change is supposed to be made. You want to include me on the back end so that you just get my vote while I'm here on these meetings. You don't want me at the table with you. That's obvious and apparent. I told this community, there's no way that this resolution won't pass. Because this ain't about it being Commissioner Daniel Mahoney, the Democrat, resolution being presented to a Republican majority board. I told the community this is a human rights issue. And the Board of Commissioners understand that this is a human rights issue. I told the community, if you show up in numbers, action will be taken in the direction that the public wants to see it to go. So they showed up. They made plans. They organized to show up peacefully, as others have done before in the past. And voices were stifled, not allowed to show up to a meeting in person. Meetings canceled and not shared with commissioners and put to this Zoom platform. And people still persisted. People still showed up. And what's crazy is it ain't my people. It's not the Black citizens of this community who you've heard from, because they sat back in disbelief and distrust and said, no, Mahoney, they're not going to pass it. But a lot of the white allies that we have in this community said, we're going to show up. A lot of the Black people who are fighting on the front lines of this community said, we know what it means to show up and make our voice be heard. And they showed up. You know, I'm surprised I didn't see the usual cast of individuals who are in opposition, because I was looking forward to hearing their opinions on how we could have made this better, on how we could have done this differently, Commissioner Baird, on how we could have worked better together, Commissioner Rodney Woe, on how I may have been able to communicate better or do something different in the resolution to appease the majority, Commissioner Duckham. But it didn't happen. Everybody was in favor of the resolution at hand. You know, I've been deep into the faith lately, which is the only reason I'm going to sleep well tonight. This don't do nothing for my hairline, because I'm sure it's receding as I continue to talk, but I'll sleep well nonetheless. One of the sermons I was listening to was by Bishop T.D. Jakes, and it was spot on time. And what he talked about, Chairman Shotwell, was tithing your 10% to the Lord. And it was time for him to take his tithing from his congregation at that time. And he began to talk about the reason that you tithe. And as you guys all know, pastors like to use good analogies that I think is very fitting right now and in this time and in this moment. Because I know everybody's concern was about the money, or the defunding of police, or the reallocation of funds from one place to another, or whatever the lame excuse was. But T.D. Jakes said something that will stick with me from now until forever, until I'm dead and gone. He said, when you love something, you find money for it. A drug addict will always find money for drugs. He told the women of his congregation, if you're trying to get to your man's money, don't go through his wallet, go through his heart. Because if he loves you, he's going to care and provide for you. Now, I saw this community rise up, pass a resolution, pass documents for us to be able to ask the public to spend money on the cats and dogs of this community that we so dearly love. But we don't see fit to spend money on the black community that we so claim to love. And I'll tell everybody now, no amount of business that you give me will overrule justice and doing right by people. I will never sleep on that. I would never sleep on that. But I hope y'all have a peaceful night, because I know I will. Congratulations.